What made you think that you needed something in addition to the masters that you've had in the UK in the first place to be able to get a job?
The first day I stepped my foot in my classroom, I started
Uh-huh.
thinking about the job market.
I'm just trying to tell people that the fact that you have a UK master's is not automatic. Sometimes you need to go an extra mile to get a few things in addition. And that is what you realized. And then
Yeah.
that is what you did. And then it was so helpful. So I'm saying that data analysis, is it just manageable? Are you getting minimum wage or their salary is actually good? People are saying they are in tech, they're making money. Are you really making money or you're just managed? That's what I want to know. To be honest. You haven't.
When I landed my first job, I remember sitting in the kitchen with my husband. I'm like, so is this what it is? Is this how it is?
Wow.
And then the both of us were really excited. Like, so this is it?
Stop that. Hi guys, so today I have here a Nigerian with a Ghanaian aura called Ikma. And I have here somebody I'm sure you guys have seen several times on the channel, Mr. Deza Suleiman, founder of Tenalytics, the popular Tenalytics. Today, I want to ask Ikma very, very important questions, which she has promised that she's going to answer genuinely and honestly, okay? Ikma, please introduce yourself. Who are you? Where are you currently? And all of that. And then we'll get started.
Hi everyone, my name is Ikmat Akinyoye, and I am an information analyst with the NHS. I currently live in the UK. I work in the UK. So I met Tenalytics while I was doing my master's in public health. And then I needed something that was going to put me in the front line in the job market. So I wanted something more. I was already doing public health, which is something I was really interested in. So when I saw Tenalytics, I saw, okay, this might be a better chance for me to get in the front line that I've always wanted in terms of job search and everything. So that was how I came across Tenalytics and I registered.
So you had your first degree in Nigeria, and then you only came to the UK to do your master's in public health. And I know somebody, my school prefect from back in Ghana also did her master's in public health, and she was here for a while and she could not find a job, right? I don't know exactly what she wanted to do with the public health that she was struggling. But what made you think that you needed something in addition to the masters that you've had in the UK in the first place to be able to get a job?
Thank you for that question, because the first day I stepped my foot in my classroom, I started thinking about the job market, which is very, very important. From the first week, I started looking at job sites. What are the requirements? I wanted a job in healthcare, something I would really like. So I thought, okay, public health. So what are the requirements of a public health officer or a public health analyst or something in public health? And then I'll read through and I'll see skills like data analysis. Can you use Excel? And I'm like, I don't have all these things. And I thought, okay, I needed to add more to my master's program. I needed more. And, we were not taught all of these things. There were no much practical. It was just mostly, theory. And then I needed the practical sessions. I needed the tech part of public health. I needed more, the skills I've been reading about and everything. And I saw analytics and I said, oh, okay, this is all I need to add to my public health degree. In fact, it is the most important thing, because when you read about job descriptions and everything, those things come in the front line and I needed it. So that was the reason why I registered with Analytics.
Yeah, some people will be wondering why. But you know what? Just like many people watching me now, right? I also used to think that if you have a UK education on your CV, like it's automatic, you're going to get a job. I remember when I came here and I went to get married and my husband was coming. He had already come to the UK to study engineering, like chemical engineering in the University of Manchester, right? And he had finished this course. He had distinction in his class, right? And yes, I never stopped saying that because there were just a few of them, and he had distinction. He came, so when he was coming to join me, I knew that it's automatic, like he's gonna get a job, right? Little did we know, this man came back and we saw like jobs in his field, right? And then he reached out to his university. He got a lecturer there to even give him sort of like a good reference and all of that. These people still, it was not enough. He could not use that to get the kind of job that he wanted. And I was like, what is happening? This guy came to do his master's. You can show that. So just like you are saying, I'm sure, like, I'm just trying to tell people that the fact that you have a UK master's is not automatic. Sometimes you need to go an extra mile to get a few things in addition. And that is what you realized. And then that is what you did. And then it was so helpful. Now, I know Tenalytics, they offer so many different programs, okay? But why did you choose what you chose in the first place?
Okay, so I was very lucky to attend one of their master classes
Okay.
in data
The
analysis,
free
and
ones?
then I
Is it the free
enjoyed
ones
it,
that you do?
thoroughly enjoyed it. Felt like a tech guru for the first time.
Is it one of the free sessions that you joined?
Yes, the free one.
Okay.
Yes, I joined the free one.
Okay.
I joined one of the free master classes,
Okay.
and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Okay.
And one of the things I was looking for was I going to understand when the classes begin? Is it something that was going to keep my interest? Because I lose interest easily. And if you are not interested in anything, when it starts getting difficult, you may not be able to keep up, or you may not want to continue. So when I saw everything in the masterclass, it was something that I could relate with, something I really like and I enjoyed. And that was why I signed up.
Wow. And then, like, what specific program did you choose to do?
Data analysis.
Data analysis. And how was the whole program like?
Oh, it was wonderful. The moderators were really nice. At first, I felt intimidated because I met people in my class that were already into data analysis. They were already working in data analysis. And then when they ask questions, I'm like, what are these people saying? I don't even understand. I thought I was not going to be able to keep up because I was a fresher. I had no background in data analysis whatsoever. And then, but the moderators, the way they help each and every one of us was really wonderful. You were not going to feel like you are being left behind in class, even when some other people understood what was happening. And, I felt I was able to ask questions. I felt confident to ask because the moderators were really nice. They took their time to take care of each and every one of us. So the classes were wonderful. And I'll tell you for a fact that after my Excel classes, because we had Excel, SQL, visualization in Tableau, and after my Excel classes, that was when I landed my first job. I had not even started the other bits of the classes. So that's how great it was for me.
Wow. How long was the whole program, your course, your data analyst course? How was it? How long was it for you?
For me, it was for 3 months.
Okay. And do you believe that with somebody like you who did not have any prior tech knowledge, was 3 months enough to learn everything you need to know for the job market? What would you say?
I was shocked actually, but if there's something I took out of analytics was to not sell yourself short.
Okay.
Because if you're able to do something, just believe it. Don't be afraid. Show yourself. If there are 1,000 people out there that are doing the same thing, just you're unique. And don't be afraid. Don't sell yourself short. Don't think, oh, people are already doing this for years. I just learned it for a month. No, if you're confident in what you know, just be able to speak up. And yes, you can do it. I am a living testimony.
So would you attribute your success in getting this NHS job to 10 Analytics?
Yes, I would. Because when I started searching, I actually needed sponsorship, which was my target. So I targeted local councils, NHS, I wanted something around that. I didn't bother to look for, the private companies because I wanted sponsorship. So when I landed my first role with a local council and I couldn't take it because, I don't know, something happened. And then when I began my interviews with the NHS and the way I answered questions during interviews were because of the training we got during, LinkedIn optimization and interview sessions, that we have outside of classes. This really helped me to be able to be confident in myself. Even when I know that I've not finished my program yet, I was able to attend interviews confidently. And these were because of the, sessions that were set apart for optimization, interview preparations, and everything. So yes, I can attribute it to Analytics. I can attribute this success in my job to Analytics.
So I'm saying that data analysis, is it just manageable? Are you getting minimum wage or their salary is actually good? People are saying they are in tech, they are making money. Are you really making money or you're just managed? That's what I want to know. To be honest. You haven't.
When I landed my first job, I remember sitting in the kitchen with my husband. I'm like, so is this what it is? Is this how it is?
Wow.
and then the both of us were really excited, like, so this is it? So yes, I think that should answer your question.
It has answered my question. Sadeza.
Yeah, so just to follow up, Ikmat, you mentioned other sessions outside class. So I remember your interview preparation was with Mohammed. So how did that play out during the main interview itself? You want to just chime on that?
Oh, it was wonderful. It was as if Mr. Mohammed knew the questions that were going to be asked. It felt like magic because I'm like, how did you know the questions that were going to be asked? It was wonderful. The interview, all of my friends that have referred to Analytics, every time they get an interview, I always remind them, do an interview preparation. No matter how confident you think you have or whatever you think you know, do an interview prep. So because it really helped me and it was the best thing.
So for those who are confused, 10 Analytics, they don't only teach you the tech aspects. After you have gone through their program, okay, they also help you in actually getting the job. And then even whilst you are on the job, after you've been successful, they also help you with your project whilst you are in the job. So what Ikmat is saying is that even after she had finished her program, 10 Analytics also took her through interview preparation so that they are not only giving you the knowledge, but then as to how you can actually get the job after you have gotten the knowledge. They take pride in that as well. So she did get coaching for her interview, and then she says that whatever she did in the preparation, the interview preparation, was as if the person knew the questions that should be asked for her, like proper interview. And I also know that 10 Analytics help you with your CV, making of your CV, LinkedIn optimization. What else haven't I said? Like so many things. So that's what Ikmat is talking about. Okay. And then she's also saying that even her other friends that she referred to 10 Analytics, she always reminded them after they've gotten the job that please make sure that you do your interview preparation because it's very important. And I think that is very, because even with nurses, okay, like you've been taught, oh, this is how to manage diabetes, how to manage kidney disease. But one thing they never taught us in school was how to write a nursing CV. One thing they never taught us in school was how to actually pass your nursing interview and all of that. I had to learn all of that on my own with YouTube videos and all of that. So I think it's very, very important. A lot of people don't focus on that, but it's very, very important. So Ikma, most of my audience are migrants, okay, who have moved from, let's say, Africa, Asia, or the Caribbean to UK, US, right? And they are usually very educated people, but then they find themselves doing jobs that they don't like, jobs that are, let's say, low paying jobs, or just because of the situation they find themselves in, like, you know, the example I even gave in my husband, you know, and they are thinking of joining analytics because they probably heard it somewhere, probably on my channel, on Instagram, wherever, but it's like there's nothing pushing them. They are not convinced enough, right? For that kind of person, what would they? Because Mr. Deza was telling me that you have referred so many people to 10 Analytics after your success story. So what would you say to these people?
Okay, so I still have friends that are not still convinced, even after referring other people.
Why is it that? Why? What do you think?
I don't know, but I
because
think
they should
most
see your
people,
life and they should see that you've got a good job now and all of that. So what do you think is the reason?
most people are not ready to put in the work because honestly, it's not easy. And I'll consider myself lucky because I got my first job from my first interview. And then there are some people that did over 50 applications before they landed their first role. So that can be discouraging for some people. You know, it's not easy. The mental torture.
The Ghanaian aura you have, in addition to the 10 Analytics, education, is all that you needed to get that first one, you know? Do you agree?
So it can be discouraging, the mental torture of getting unfortunately all the time over and over again. And then some people just want to put food on their table with whichever job that comes. So because they had to continue doing those jobs, they don't have the time to prepare, to study, you know. So it can be discouraging for others. So but for those that are ready to put in the work, and those that are really interested in changing their career path or want career progression or want something better, I would implore them to try and put in the work, really, because it's different experiences for different people, and it's only when you really want something that you can actually put in the work. So
I think you've said it all. We can't force anyone. But those that are really serious that want to change how much they're earning now and want to change their job title now, they're the ones that we are talking to right now. That you've seen Ikmat, you've seen the other people that we brought on the other episodes as well. Forgotten the other guy's name. Is it
Pavel.
Pavel, and then the other lady, Ngozi. If you've seen all of these people, their lives have changed. Mr. Deza was telling me that even prior to that, you were a stay-at-home mom. So this is huge, you know. You know how you can, when you're making an application for a job, they'll tell you to explain periods where you were not working and why you were, all of that. So for them, even for your first interview after this, and then they picked you regardless of, you know, the gaps in your employment history prior, this is really huge. This is really huge. Thank you so much, Ikma. Mr. Deza, do you have anything to add to what Ikma has said?
I mean, Ikmat has said it all. Okay. So it's always preparation meets opportunity. You need to put in the work. The classes would happen. We have mentorship sessions that aim to equip you with that mental fortitude so that when you go for an interview and you get, unfortunately, you know that the world doesn't end there. You need to still keep on pushing. All right. So unfortunately, it would happen. It would come. You know, the best of us get, unfortunately. However, those that eventually thrive are the ones that keep on pushing, keep on applying, go for interviews, learn from those interview experiences, and then you put in, you know, those learnings in subsequent interviews. So Ikmat is always fantastic lady. I remember Ikmat's story, and we're always proud of her. We use her to brag and tell, you know, when we want to brag about our success stories, Ikmat is one of the models. Now, you know, anybody who wants to achieve something substantial, if you look at Ikmat's story, listen to all the things she said, you walk with that, you definitely get to where you need to get to.
Because NHS is huge. And NHS people usually say, oh, you know, migrants, when you can't wait for NHS, either let's say they're coming as doctors or nurses, you know, or let's say they're cleaning or they're, you know, doing care. But this is a totally different sector of the NHS, and NHS is huge.
Yes, something I also want to say is people are always shocked that how will somebody get a job 1 month after joining or 2 months after joining? And the strategy is very simple, okay? Organizations would not want every single thing from you. There are specific situations where what they want from you is Microsoft Excel. And guess what? Within the space of a month and a half, you've completed Excel. Or they want you to have Excel and Power BI. You've done Excel, you've done Power BI within the space of 2 months, 2.5 months. And you start applying even before you are done with the program itself. So that gives you an inroad, the opportunity to go in, experience the interview. And just like Ikmat, you have what it takes, you prepare for that interview, you will just land that job, you know, just like Ikmat did. So it's not for you to wait until the end before you start applying to jobs. You'd find those organizations that require the set of skills that you have at that point in time. So that's also it's very instructive. Ikmat mentioned that as well.
Mr. Deza, you see, over here, like let's say somebody is watching me right now. This person probably has 4 children. This person is having to do 6 days a week as a carer to make ends meet for the family, right? And this person really wants to change their life, really wants to get a good job and wants to join analytics for maybe the same program that Ikmat did. Now, you are saying 3 months. And Ekmat is saying it's not easy, you know, probably the assignments you have to join online. The person does not have the time. For such people, do you have, let's say, a 6-month program for these people? Or like something that can, you know, make it easy for these people also to join because they want to, but it's the time and then the responsibilities that they have at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic question. So the time Ikmat joined, the program was 3 months learning, 1 month internship. So a total of 4 months. That was what Ikmat experienced. All right. But we changed that. Now we have a model to accommodate people you talked about. So we have, you know, people who are already working, they're doing the care jobs, they work, you know, Mondays to Fridays, and they're always very busy. So now we have 6 months learning and 2 months internship. Wow. So it's a total of 8 months. So you have enough time to not just go through the classes. You have time to even go back, go to what you've done, you know, as a form of reference, you know, and then you have your internship for another 2 months. Okay. And the strategy still remains the same. Do I need to wait until the end of 8 months before I apply to a job? No, you don't need to wait until the end of 8 months. So by the time you're done with the first month, the second month, you have some certain level of skills. During the mentorship session, we start to push you to apply. We show you how to apply, where to apply. We work on your CV for you. In fact, Ikmat did not enjoy us working on her CV. We showed her what to do. We didn't do it for her. But now For those who join now, we work on your CV for you. The first one, we give you that industry standard, and then we show you what to do going forward. So when you have to apply, you know how to tailor your CVs and so on and so forth. So it's 6 months learning, 2 months internship, 8 months. No matter what you do at the moment, you have enough time to go through that program, embody all the skills, you hone the skills, understand everything you need to do, and you also do the internship that equips you with real world experience. And at the end of the day, you have all it takes to land that job.
So Adesa, you said that although it's 6 months learning and 1 month internship, after the first month or second month, I can't start applying for jobs because I may have gotten the skills. Do I
Yeah.
have certificates at that time after the 1 month, 2 months
No.
to prove? No.
No, you don't. And the reason is simple. Okay, Ikmat said something very crucial. I'm just going to piggyback on that. She said, be confident. And these are the things we tell you. Okay, you have these skills. You are concerned that I'm competing with other people that probably have done this over the last few years. You have to show that level of confidence. And one of the things we enforce and try to explain to everyone is employers don't want you for your credentials. They don't want you for your certificates. They don't want you for your masters. You mentioned your husband couldn't get a job even though he studied in the UK, chemical engineering. Ikmat studied in the UK. Okay, I studied in the UK as well. I did masters in the UK. I know how the educational system is. Employers also know you don't get the skills required to do the job from the universities. So they want you for your competence. So what's your competence? Your skills and your experience. Show me the skills. Show me you can utilize these skills we want to bring you on board for. Ikmat had to undergo Excel tests. They tested her on Excel.
Wow.
All right?
Part
Yes.
of the application
Yep.
process for the job.
Yep.
Wow.
Part of our assessment was an Excel assessment.
Wow.
No jokes. So they want to be sure that you said you can use Excel. Let's test you on Excel and see how good you are. Then what experience do you have? Where have you done this before? And that's where you can look back and tell them that I did this at 10 Analytics. I worked on this project. I did this and I did that. So, it's not about you having that certificate. It's about you showing the competence to do that job. If that makes sense, Daniel.
Yeah, it does make sense a lot. Yeah, it does.
Nanel, can I also add to that?
Oh, sure.
So when I went for my first interview and that I landed the job, they wanted another skill that I'd never even heard about. So it was something totally different. And I still applied. I had like 50% of what they wanted. I didn't have the whole thing. So I always tell my friends, you don't need to have everything in the job description. If you have 70%, it's fine. Go on and do it. I told them I knew Power BI. I told them I knew Tableau. They were not using this. But I told them I will bring this into this job if you hire me. So I convinced them I was bringing something new.
Wow.
And then after the interview, they showed me around the office, and then I got the good news the next day. So you don't necessarily have to have exactly what is written on the job description. Just be able to do 70, 80%, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Wow.
When I mentioned that Ikmat is a model of who you should follow, that's exactly what I'm saying. You don't wait until you have every single requirement. Every job advert you see out there is a wish list. They wish they have the perfect candidates. The perfect candidate does not exist. So one of the things, in fact, there's a mentorship session. We held this, I think that was last month. And the title for that session was Apply to Jobs Even If You Don't Meet All the Criteria. All right. You meet 60%, apply. 70%, apply. That's the only way you give yourself a chance of landing the job and growing on the job as well. And that's what Ikma did, like she said, which of course makes a lot of sense.
That's nice. And congratulations. How long has this been, Ikmat? How long ago was this?
Oh, wow. It's been a long time. It's almost 2 years now. Because I landed the job in June, like 2 days before my birthday. So the excitement was really high.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So, Ikmat, your final words for my viewers who are watching you right now and are very inspired by your story. Your final words.
I would say do it afraid. No matter how hard you think it is, don't be intimidated by the number of applicants you see or by the big tech words you're hearing. It's not that hard. It's not that difficult. You don't need to know everything before you put your leg forward. Just do it. Do it afraid. That's all I have to say.
Well said. Thank you so much, darling. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right.
Thank you very much, Ikmat. I'll reach out to you before the end of this week.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye, Nalia.
All right.
Bye.
Cheers.
So somebody is now super inspired and wants to go ahead. How do we start? Obviously,
Fantastic.
I'm going to leave the link, all the links and all the websites in the description and in the pinned comment. Okay, but Mr. Deza, how do they go about it?
Okay, fantastic. So what I'll do is I'll quickly share all the things Ikmat went through, okay, in a very quick presentation. So you understand, if I want to start, how do I start like Ikmat and how do I land the job? So I'll go ahead and share my screen and then I'll just walk you through that very quickly. All right. So all you need to do, and this is what exactly Ikmat did in a 3-step approach. The first is to learn, okay? So you have to learn the skills. How do I land a job in this area? So you have to, first of all, learn the skills. And you don't just learn any skill simply because you heard somebody has learned this skill or somebody else is doing this. What type of skills do you learn? The in-demand career path. And that's what we focus on. So we focus on the in-demand career path that are not just in demand in the UK, alone, but they are also eligible for the skilled worker visa. So one of the major changes you'd see happening, recently is skilled worker visas would only be limited to the RQF level 6 roles. What does this simply mean? It means roles that would require BScs or bachelors in arts. That's in terms of the complexity of doing the job. So it doesn't affect anybody who's done data analytics. It doesn't affect Ikmat, for example. It doesn't affect somebody who's done data science or data engineering or business analysis. If you've gone through any of these 8 career paths, you will be able to get a skilled worker visa because it is on this level when it comes to the ability to do that job. So these are the 8 areas I would say anybody who wants to land a job very fast in the UK, you focus on one of them. Ikmat did the data analytics. All right. So data science, data engineering, business analysis, cybersecurity, financial analytics, agile project management, and HR analytics. And what I want to also advise is focus. Okay. Focus is the elimination of alternatives. 8 of them are fantastic. Or everybody might say, oh, I want to go for what Ikmat did, which is data analytics. Then they hear their friends saying something else and they want to go for what their friends, have also gone for. My advice is focus on one, learn the skills, work on projects, and apply to jobs in that particular area. Okay, I think I've done this so many times, but one thing I always advise people, especially those in the UK, is you want to check for eligible occupations for the skilled worker visa. All right. And if you go online, just type it in your browser, eligible occupations for the skilled worker visa. The gov.uk website would pop out. And all you need to do is look for one of these roles that I've listed. And I'm just going to, scroll down very quickly because of time, but I'll show you these are the jobs that are eligible for the skilled worker visa. Of course, the Home Office would make changes based on the white paper that's currently, being deliberated on. However, I can tell you for certain 100% that all those 8 career paths on the RQF level 6 would always remain. They were on the shortage occupation list. They were also available for the skilled worker visa, even after numerous changes in the past. So if you go to code 2135, for example, you'd see cybersecurity professionals. Is it eligible for the skilled worker visa? Yes, you see that right there. If you go to so many other roles, financial analytics, 2422, these are some of the roles. So if I scroll all the way down to 2422, you'd see the financial analyst. So these are roles eligible for the skilled worker visa. The data analytics, what Ikmat did, Ikmat got sponsorship from the NHS, 3544, okay? 3544, you'd see the data analyst, and that was what Ikmat did. So all these 8 career paths are eligible for the skilled worker visa. Now, once you've selected a program, you've decided, I want to move my career forward. I want to progress. The next level is for you to package. Learning is not enough. The technical skills alone will not get you the job. You heard what Ikmat said. She needed to have the right CV. She knew what to say during interviews because she had the interview prep. And that's where we at Analytics, we help you with your CV. So your CV revamp, we revamp your CV for you. We review your CV and revamp to the industry standard. And then we show you how to tailor your CV to job requirements before you go ahead and apply. We show you how to optimize your LinkedIn profile. What happens typically the moment you optimize your LinkedIn profile, you start getting messages from recruiters. Can we have a conversation? Can we talk about your career journey and so on and so forth? And then you must build a portfolio. Okay. What's the portfolio? Your portfolio is where all the projects you worked on, you upload those projects into that portfolio. So anybody can go to your LinkedIn, for example, and they see the link to your portfolio. Your link to your portfolio would also be on your CV. And this is proof that you've done the job. I'll show you what a portfolio looks like, so you have a good idea about what your portfolio should be. Then you have the mentorship sessions. This happens every Thursday evenings. Thursday evenings, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m., we have the mentorship session. This is where myself, the co-founder, we bring in other industry experts, and we also bring in alumni to come share their experience with you. You're trying to get a job, a visa-sponsored job. You're trying to get into the NHS. As of today, we have over 72 Tenalytics alumni working with the NHS alone in the UK. Alone, just the NHS, over 70.
NHS, wow.
Yes. So ICMAT is one of them as an information analyst. Wow. That's a fancy way of saying a data analyst. We have business architects, pathology data analysts, and so on and so forth. So these are the people that you also get to interact with. We let you know that, like Ikmat said, when it gets unfortunately, it's not the end of the world. Yeah. But you need somebody who's been there, who's done that, to walk you through every single thing you need to do in order to eventually land that job. Then you have the interview prep. You must not go for an interview without the interview prep. Somebody must prepare you, somebody that has done the job before and knows exactly the kind of questions you're likely going to get. Very important. When Ikmat got the job with the NHS, we provided her reference. Okay, the NHS reached out to us. We wrote a reference for her. So we do the job references so that you're able to solidify and keep that job. And of course, once you've gotten a job, you have a project that is a bit difficult for you. Maybe you've not worked on that type of project before. We work with you, show you what to do. We don't do it for you, but we show you how to surmount that particular challenge. So that's the package part. All these things from 1 to 7, ICMAT also experienced them. And of course, you have the apply. Apply is where you now have the skills, the technical skills. You have the employability skills. The next step is for you to apply to jobs. Not just to apply like everybody else applies, but to apply with precision, okay? ICMAT talked about the type of companies, the type of organizations she applied to because she wanted sponsorship. So we also send you links to jobs you can apply to because we vetted those jobs and we know these are the type of jobs you can get. So you apply with precision. You know how to tailor your CV. You'll never go through Tenalytics and use one CV to apply to multiple jobs. Every job application would have its own tailored CV. So you get better positive results, more interviews, which would lead to more jobs. You know that I'm going to apply to multiple applications, 10 applications per day or more, okay? So that you are able to increase the possibility of you landing that interview even faster. And finally, when we send you jobs, we don't send you jobs we get from your, general job boards, from CV Library. Everybody has access to CV Library, read.co.uk. Everybody has access. What we do is we pay to job boards that not everybody has access to. So we get those unique jobs that only a few people would apply to. All right, we pay for those subscriptions, we scrape those jobs, we vet the jobs to be sure that these are the type of jobs you can do, and then we send them to you every single week to apply to. So learn, package, and apply, and that's what gets you the job. All right, and that's exactly what ICMAT did. This is ICMAT went through the learn, the package, the apply, and eventually she landed the job. She joined our data analytics program, tailored her CV, joined all the mentorship sessions. She got prepared for multiple interviews, built a portfolio, tailored her applications to specific organizations, specific jobs. And she knew where to apply. She knew how to apply. And in January last year, she landed this job with the NHS, the Sussex Community NHS Foundation Trust, as an information analyst. And she got the job. a month, not even a month before completing. This is my own error, a month after joining. Okay, and that's simply because we encourage you to apply. We've seen it happen too many times where organizations want you to have just Excel. They don't want Power BI and SQL. She knew she was going to learn Power BI and SQL. So she told them that she would bring that to the job. Okay, and she only knew Excel, which was what they wanted at that time. And that increased her chances of landing the job. So that's Ikmat's story. And her job is also with what? Full visa sponsorship. All right. And of course, the program is for 6 months, 6 months learning. You learn the skills in class. You work with a professional, somebody who's done the job. You work together for 6 months. And then you have your 2 months internship with our sister company, Amdari. So it doesn't matter where you are. Amdari, in the UK, for example, Amdari operates out of London in the UK. You have Amdari also operating out of Alberta in Canada. So if you're in North America, you have that Canadian work experience. If you're in the UK, you have that UK work experience, because the internship is where you get to work on real world projects designed for you to understand exactly what to do on day one when you eventually land that job. So on your CV, if you go to Ikmat's LinkedIn, for example, which I'll show you, you'd see her work experience, including Tenalytics. All right. And you'd also include Amdari as well for your own internship. Okay, so the classes happens, the live classes every Saturdays. If you're in the UK, for example, you're in Europe, similar time zones, you have a live class, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. every Saturdays. That's when you have your live session. And I'll show you what the live class looks like. If you're in the US or in Canada, North America, you have your own class, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Mountain Time. Now, if you're in the UK, what this means for you is you have the flexibility of joining the class in the morning from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. But if you're not available or you have other things, other commitments, you can join the class for those in North America, which would be roughly around 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. your time. So you have that flexibility of joining in the morning or joining in the evening, depending on your availability and your schedule for the weekend. So your live classes are on Saturdays. Every other day, you join the LMS and you have a self-paced learning. So you join at your own convenience. You watch your videos any day, anytime, anywhere. And Saturdays, you join a live class. You have a facilitator like me, for example, teaching you, working on projects. You can ask questions and get real-time feedback. Okay. So before I go to what it takes in terms of the amount, getting into the program, I'll show you what the live class looks like. I'll show you what the self-paced class looks like, and then we'll come back to wrap internship. All right. Our next cohort starts on the 7th of June. 7th of June, we have the next cohort. For those who would love to join, for those who would love to start, this is the best time for you to get started. All right. So we have an amazing discount as usual for the Nanels community, like I always love to add. So rather than paying the full amount of £770, okay, you get a 20% discount to pay just £615. And the beauty is you can also make this payment in multiple installments. You don't have to pay everything at once. So this is your typical amount you pay in Primark. You go to Poundland, Tesco. One trip to Tesco, you pay £123. But you're changing your career, £123 for the next 5 months, and you get your journey started. And for you to start, the link to how to make payments and all of that will be shared. Nanel will post that, in the description. But all you have to do, click on the link. For those who want to join, you want to start your journey, click on the link and you can make your payments, make the first installment and get started on the 7th of June. Or you can join our community if you have further questions. We set up something called a clarity session, and the clarity session is where you can ask all the questions you want to ask before you go ahead and join the program you'd love to join. But if you click on this link, it takes you to how to make payment. Remember, the discount is for the first 20 people from the Nanels community. All right, so take advantage of the discount.
Make it 30. Make it 30.
Make it 30.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see about that. Okay, we have very limited slots at the moment, but
guys, I tried.
Yeah, we will see what we can do for your community, Nanel, to maybe increase it from 20 to 30. And for those who would love to get started, join. You can either click to make your first installment, or you can join our community. We have a clarity session. You have questions you'd like to ask. Should I go for business analysis or data engineering? We answer all those questions, and eventually you get started.
Yeah. So guys, I would say that if you're still not sure after all of this, I think the best thing to do is just join. I'll leave a link to my Analytics WhatsApp community. Okay, just click on the link and go on there and then ask all the questions. I'm sure that maybe there's probably a question that you have on your mind that Mr. Deza did not answer or I didn't ask. Okay, just go on there and then just pop in your question. Be sure, okay, and be ready for this, okay, and then you go ahead and then make your payments and then join. And I wish that the next time it will be you I am interviewing, sharing your testimony, and then you're going to say that you first heard of 10 Analytics from my channel, and now you have changed your job and you're earning big money. Yes, that's what I want to happen. Okay, so those are your final words.
Yeah, the most important thing is do it afraid. Like Ikmat said, nobody knew that. If we know what the future would be, we'll really not get any excitement out of life. So we don't know what tomorrow would be in terms of where would I be in the next 2 years, in the next 1 year, in the next 8 months.
Yeah.
8 months would come, but when 8 months come, where do you want to be? Do you still want to be where you are, or do you want to be that person who has the skills to land a job in this particular career path? Every country, every single country are focused on keeping people with who are highly skilled and who have the talent to actually get the best jobs available. So you want to get into one of these career paths and ensure that you stand out from the crowd. So get started, join the community, come pick our brains, ask all the questions you have. We'll be very happy to engage you and show you how you can also be like Ikmat, landing a visa sponsored job, landing a job, irrespective of your own personal objective. We'll work with you to help you get there.
Yeah. The last video we did, somebody was in the comments that what's of those who are not in the UK? Guys, it's for everyone. It's not just for, like, I know that sometimes I make it seem like it's for migrants who are in low paying jobs and want to switch, but if you are in Ghana, Nigeria, wherever you are, and you want to enter into tech, this is good for you. You can actually start. And a good thing is with the job ads that 10 Analytics will help you apply to or get exposure to, you can actually get a UK tech job or a US tech job from the comfort of your home back wherever you are. And you will even make the most out of it than the person here, because you'll be paying rent in Naira. Meanwhile, you're earning in dollars, or you're earning. It's for everyone. In one of my videos, I did share, maybe about a year or two ago, I did share a friend of mine who I met at the airport at Heathrow on my way back from the US. And she was working for a company in the US as one of these data analysts or whatever. And she was making a lot of money, even from before she went to the US. Okay. So I have said this story on my channel before. You can, and then most of these jobs, it's remote jobs. I forgot to ask Ikmat whether hers is remote or not, where you can be working in your pajamas from home and then earning big money. So regardless of where you are, guys, please don't ask that question again, because I've answered it. You can, but if you're still not sure, just click on the link. Okay. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you ask me any question and I have the answers to, I will. But if you really want in-depth, okay, just click on the link and then ask your questions and you'll be answered. Okay. And then you can make your mind. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Always a pleasure to be here.
Thank you.